This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
You're on mute, Chris.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, welcome to Monday Night Between the Ropes, brought to you by C2C Entertainment Network. I'm one of the hosts, Big B, along with my fellow co-host, down in the city of Texas, Crispy Bacon. How you doing, bud?
Yep. Doing good. Glad to be back. It was a good show, good weekend, and all that.
Yep. Before we get into all the wrestling action, Survivor Series, SmackDown, Raw, the finals are set for the John Cena last tournament, whatever they call it. We want to pay our respects. I know, Chris, you don't know the gentleman I'm going to speak of, but he's a big announcer here in Minnesota. We lost him Saturday, I believe it was. Travis Sharp, announcer for many promotions, especially the one I go to, MAW. So I just want to, one of the last times I got to speak to Travis or, get to bump elbows with him, he signed a picture in a book that I bought at a wrestling event because he was in it with a match. He signed it, and we kind of talked a little wrestling, not too much because he had things to do. But you could just tell that he enjoyed the business and just enjoyed what he did, enjoyed the fans. So, with that being said, Chris, go ahead and put up the picture if you got it ready.
I have it. My thing's not working, but it should have been added.
Okay, let's see here.
Let me get up.
Let's see here. Oh, there it is. I got it. There you go. Travis, this is for you. Gonna miss you, bud. All right. The local wrestling scene is not going to be same without Travis. So, with that being said, Chris,
Yeah,
let's get into it. Let's get into SmackDown. What happened on SmackDown this week?
it was pre-recorded, but we had the last time is now tournament. LA Knight had a special surprise opponent. We thought it was going to be someone else returning. It was The Miz, who sneakily entered his name into the raffle once again, but he lost to LA Knight. Advanced to the finals or the semifinals tonight. But I think the rest was pre-recorded. We also had the 10-man tag Survivor Series matchup between the MFTs and Sami Zayn squad. I think Sami Zayn won that one, if I remember right.
No, Solo won.
Uh-huh.
MFT's won.
I don't think it should have been on a show where it's pre-recorded, but it was Thanksgiving, so that's it really from SmackDown from my perspective, unless there's anything you wanted to touch on.
I mean, yeah. LA Knight, yeah. We all thought somebody was going to return. Of course, it was The Miz, which I don't know if it was just a last minute thing they put him in, but I'm glad LA Knight moved on. Charlotte Flair defeated Asuka to win the advantage, which again kind of questions on, is the advantage the 2-on-1, the 3-on-2, or is the advantage actually the last person to come in? I mean, so
Right.
I don't know really where the advantage looks at, but and then of course, like you said, MFTs beat Sami Zayn's team, and then we had a shocking return. The Wyatt Six came in, and
Yes.
and actually Uncle Howdy did the Sister Abigail to Solo. So it'll be kind of interesting to see where that goes. I think that's where the Survivor Series style match was heading, and then of course we know that Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, had to step away to be with his dad for health reasons. So plans change. So hopefully they can tie up that storyline with them. I think it'll be a pretty good one. But that was about it on Raw or on SmackDown.
Yep, and then we had the pay-per-view or the PLE on Saturday. Which overall, what did you think of the event?
Man, it was,
like on the scale of 1 to 10.
Man, being that was, I mean, I know the two matches were long.
Yeah.
But
and the other two were short.
Yeah, 2 of the 4, were going to be long. I have a hard time giving it anything higher than a 5. Because it was somewhat predictable. I mean, yeah, we had a couple shocking returns, or a shocking return and a run-in, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, we didn't have no heel turns like I thought. I thought for sure there was going to be one. Was not expecting, and we'll get into it more. The return was expecting somebody to jump in from the crowd and be a masked man. It was just, I would say the women's was probably the best one match. I just have a hard time. I'm kind of agreeing with a lot of people that said it was just a blah pay-per-view, and some are saying that the War Games aspect should go away for a couple years, and to bring back the old style Survivor Series matchups. But I would have liked to seen. I think the one they had on SmackDown should have been on the card.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, so the first match, I mean, I guess what did
women's
you
one.
think, Chris? Before we get into it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was. I thought it was good. It was interesting they didn't have the shark cages out there like they normally would for a War Games
Yeah,
match.
I was kind of wondering about that too. Why they didn't
I
have
think
the
they said
shark
it was
cage.
like a stage design flaw. If you, well, I wouldn't say flaw, but maybe it was where they didn't have enough room to put the cages.
Yeah,
But I think you still could have had the cages backstage, and then somehow had a camera uh, placed in the in the back or something.
yeah. I mean, they could have had them right, you know, on the left and right of the entrance where they normally have them. I mean, there was enough room there, I think. I know a lot of people were joking on how can you get Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker all in the same cage to fit. I mean, but
Yeah,
but
because
the first,
I feel like for especially for the men's,
yeah,
you would have been fun to have that interaction with
oh yeah,
Lesnar, Roman, Punk. That would have been cool.
yep, no, you're exactly right. So, with that being said, so the first match of the night, and this was actually, I'm just reading now, the first time it took place in a stadium instead of an arena. So, but I still think they could have had the shark cages in there. So the
Yeah.
event, the women's war games kicked it off. It was about a 42-minute match. Team Rhea defeated Team Asuka. Um, some crazy things happened in that match. I think it was Io Sky that jumped off the top inside a trash can. I mean, um, I thought for sure WWE would have let the women kind of go full out, kind of to mock or try to one up AEW. And they didn't. I mean, they went all out, but they didn't go all out as I thought it was. You saw when AJ came out, Becky was kind of holding the cage and not wanting her in there. Of course, then she climbs the cage. Um, and if I remember right, I think it was AJ Lee that made Becky submit too with the I don't know what they call that move.
Devils or no.
Yeah, the devil's kiss, I think it is, or something like that.
No, that's
No,
a
it's not devil's
Bethany's.
kiss. I wish Thomas was here. He would know all the moves.
Probably.
But no, so overall, I thought it was a good match. The women definitely are showing that they can be showcased in this type of match and do what the guys can do.
Yeah.
What did you think, Chris?
No, women's match was good. Io Sky is always entertaining. Um, with the trash can.
Yep.
Always is. Um, I mean, it was a good match for what they pulled off. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Well, and the thing is Io Sky is starting to turn into kind of like Kofi Kingston when it comes to the Rumble. It's just like, okay, what is she going to do? What are they going to have her do that she hasn't done yet? So it's kind of got that excitement factor in there. So,
Yeah.
match 2 was for the WWE Intercontinental title.
This one was crazy.
The champ John Cena put the title on the line against the former champ Dominic Dirty Dom Mysterio. Match was about 17 minutes long. Yeah, go ahead and describe the match. It was crazy, for the most part.
Well, and I was surprised by this, but I mean, it's been a couple days, but Dominic Mysterio won, although he did his shenanigans, brought out the Judgment Day. First, it was Finn Balor, and
Well, he came out with Raquel and Roxanne.
Okay, yeah, they
Yeah.
started, and then JD and Finn came out, and then a returning Liv Morgan appeared. Looked like she was going to turn on Dominic. Then, proceeded to hug John and all that. Similar to what Cena did to Cody.
Yeah.
Had the smile, and then decided to, turn on a dime and kick him, and that's all she wrote, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. When she came out, was shocked. And then when she slapped him, so it's like, oh, she's gonna turn on Judgment Day Dom, and I thought John Cena was gonna get the victory, but like you said, she did the old Two-Face and hugged John Cena, got down, and as we like to say, kicked him where the sun doesn't shine, per
Yeah.
se.
Uh-huh.
Then Dom got up and did the 619 on him. Then Liv hit him with the belt, and Liv went and got the ref, and 1, 2, 3. That's all she wrote. Dom retains the title. Now is claiming that since he beat the greatest, he's the greatest. So we'll see how that lasts. I mean, I know this generation is going to consider John Cena the greatest, which they have all the right to, but in my eyes, I mean, it's still something I can't say that he's the greatest, but I can't say he's not. It's one of those debates on that we'll never get the true answer for. So
No.
But that being said, match 3 was a short one. This match actually felt longer than the time, about 13 minutes. Stephanie Valkyrie defeats Nikki Bella for the to retain the women's championship. For me, I thought this match was longer. There were some good spots in there. She did her move on the announce table and then did her move again in the ring. There was times I thought maybe they were going to put the belt on Nikki. But overall, I'm glad they didn't. What are your thoughts there, Chris?
No, I'm glad they did what they did. I don't think everybody knew that, can't remember her name, Nikki Bella, was ever gonna win that. But
I could have saw like a DQ. I don't think she would have won, the title, but I could have saw a DQ. There's parts too that you're kind of waiting for her sister to come out and get involved, but never did. So, but Valkyrie retains. So it'll be interesting to see now who steps up in that realm there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the main event, the men's War Games, another 40-minute match. The Vision defeats CM Punk's team or Cody Rhodes' team, depending on who you talk to. Little help. I don't think it was needed, but a lot of speculations, which we'll get to here in a second. But, Chris, what do you think? Braun Breaker gets the pin over CM Punk. So, what do you think of the match?
Yeah, and we'll get to what led to that tonight. Because of that. But good War Games match. I feel like it wasn't as good as the women's. And normally it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good match. It wasn't. It's weird that the women's match was just put together, but it had the best match overall. Where I feel like the men's was kind of, carefully put together, but it didn't have a good outcome.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I think a lot of people will say the women's was better. I think they both. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks before they started putting the match together. It's just like, okay, it looks like they're going to go old bloodline versus new bloodline. Oh, they're going to go bloodline versus division. Oh, it looks like they're going to scrap that. They're going to go MTF versus the Wyatts. I mean, there was so many things that we talked about on our show. And then once they finally started getting the momentum and getting people in there, it's just like, okay, so they're going to go Vision. They're going to go the new faces of wrestling versus the older faces of wrestling. Heel versus. I mean, and with all the storylines that match had and the rivalries and stuff, yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't more entertaining, more all out, and stuff like that. And it looked like there was. I mean, at the beginning there, Cody accidentally hit CM Punk. So thought maybe that might have been a kind of a turn there, but they worked through it. And then, of course, at the end, we saw a hooded black hooded gentleman. I guess a gentleman. I mean, we don't know, but climb the cage, hop over, stop. CM Punk pretty much jumped right out of the other side and left. So a lot of speculations on, CM Punk or it being Seth Rollins, Jake Paul, Austin Theory. I saw some people throw out there Chris Jericho returned, Randy Orton. I saw one today that they threw out the idea of Montez Ford on how fast he climbed up and down the cage. And then, of course, some people were throwing out some just weird names that doesn't make sense at all.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Jericho doesn't make sense. Some people said MJF, but that doesn't make sense. But it was funny because I think I put in our chat that when he got in the cage and stood there right before he did anything, he kind of stood like Randy Orton. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be Randy Orton. He pulls off the stomp. Of course, everybody thinks it's Seth Rollins. I don't think he executed the stomp like Seth Rollins does. So I don't think it's Seth Rollins. I'm leaning more towards Austin Theory. I do like the idea that somebody threw out Montez Ford. I don't think it's Ford, but I'm leaning towards Austin Theory. Who are you thinking, Chris?
I read somewhere it is Austin Theory, but it could be blowing smoke. Yeah. What really got people talking is the stomp, because with the stomp, you're like, oh, is it really Seth? Is he pulling another swerve? That kind of stuff. And I think that's whoever did it and whoever wrote it is like, okay, I want you to go out there. I want you to pretend you're Seth. Do the stomp like he would, and we'll get people talking.
Yep. And I think the biggest thing is if it was supposed to be Seth and they just had somebody go out there and pretend it was Seth, and it turns out that they did use Seth, I think that's kind of going to hurt WWE a little bit because you can't have the same guy do the swerve twice after pretty much Vision beating them down, and having to drop the title, so, and it wouldn't make sense. I mean, you can fool us once, shame on us. Fool us twice, shame on you. Or no, it's the other way around. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, I don't think it's Seth Rollins. I think it's Austin Theory, which I like. I think adding Austin Theory to the Vision is a new. I would say probably a better version of like the NWO. You got the young guns coming in, trying to take over. Now, hopefully they don't water it down and have every new face join the Vision and blah 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 and get it. But hopefully they stick to 4 or 5 guys. Heyman being the mouthpiece of the ringleader of it. But with that being said, moving on to tonight, Raw.
Yeah.
Um,
Raw was
honestly, I kind of think Raw was kind of blah today. I mean, we had the semifinals, which was good. I mean, I'm not gonna get it mistaken for that. We had a tag team title match,
we had the tag team main event.
tag team women's main event. Yep. So first kicked off. Where did it kick off at?
I think it kicked off with Charlotte. Not Charlotte.
Oh yeah, they kicked off with the
with
promo.
Rhea and Io,
Yep.
or they call themselves Rio.
Yeah.
They're happy.
Yep.
They won a tag team shot.
Yep.
Then
Yep.
in Charlotte. And, go ahead.
Yeah. So Charlotte and Bliss want their shot. So of course that was set up to be the main event tonight. I'm trying to find a good. I mean, I watched it, but I wanted to get the.
I think WWE
Yeah.
has a recap.
Yeah. But then. And then you have Braun Breaker come out, or the Vision come out, and we got reports of who the next opponent for. Well, I should say next one because there could be some. But the new number 1 contender for the first Raw of the new year is Braun Breaker will face CM Punk for the title.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think they're going to take the title off of Punk. Could it change? Of course it could. Or my thoughts are, but I don't see them doing that. But we can see what happens. So
well, you also got to think of injuries.
Yep.
From now to then.
Yep. Exactly.
Plans change and.
Yep. Exactly. There's always a plan B. So there's always a plan B. So the first match was the last time is now semifinals. Jey Uso versus LA Knight. It was a good match. LA Knight wins, which I think overall is the right decision.
It's the right decision, but it's interesting because I think a lot of people we obviously knew Gunther was going to be, making it to the end.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people felt like Jey Uso was going to be involved.
Yep.
In that final. And I think now that he's not, I think it kind of breathes a sigh of relief that he's not. We're going to get Gunther.
Yep.
The question is, and we'll get to it here in a minute, but who's going to join Gunther?
Yep. So, I mean, it was funny. You got the, Jey Uso hit the splash, goes for the pin, gets a 2 count, and then LA Knight rolls him or does a backslide pin and gets the 1, 2, 3. I think this is starting to start the heel turn for Jey. I mean, we saw him throw the fit, throw the water bottles all over, and then of course as he's leaving, he kind of just nonchalantly didn't say anything until the end.
He's like, I don't want to talk about Gunther, no LA Knight.
Yeah, everybody's in my head, got to get out, and so it'll be interesting. Next was the promo. Dom and Judgment Day come out, introduce Liv Morgan to come back. My first thought is that she started talking, and she started talking about how Judgment Day is being weak and needs to step it up. I thought for sure she was going to call out Roxanne for losing the women's tag titles, as being the weak part, and maybe kick her out. But
I
they
thought so
didn't.
too. Yeah.
They didn't. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with Judgment Day, because I think they kind of run their course. Maybe you could think a little bit different, but I still think Dom needs some kind of stable. I don't think he can do it on his own. So it'll be interesting to see where these guys go with Judgment Day. What's your thoughts?
It is getting stale a little bit. Maybe have what you did with the bloodline a little bit and have different branches, so to speak. Yeah. MFT is a spin-off of of the bloodline. It's not the bloodline, but you might as well just call it a bloodline faction.
Yep.
You can do something like that. Maybe not initially call it Judgment Day, but have it run like Judgment Day.
Yeah. Yep.
You can have like a women's division, Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever's going on, it's stale.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta figure out something. Then we saw a little video clip of couple. I didn't realize who they were until the end. Couple women wrestling, working out. And it was Natalya.
Yeah. The vignette.
Yep, it was Natalya and
Maxine Dupree.
So it'll be kind of interesting to see where that's leading to.
The vignette's talking about Natalya's personality change.
Yeah.
She's she's getting rid of the Natty Natalya character, and now it's going to be Natty.
Yep. But then we had the tag championship match. AJ Styles versus Dragon Lee, or AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the champs, versus New Day with Grayson Waller. Of course, AJ and Dragon Lee retain. Again, a so-so match. I didn't think New Day was going to win. But then that sets up for next week, another title match, or in a couple weeks, I think it was. War Raiders will get their rematch. But Chris, what do you think of the title match?
Wasn't bad. I like AJ Styles. I like Dragon Lee. But New Day need to go back to what they were. I'm sorry, but they do.
Yeah, they got to get out of this dark cloud.
Turning heel for them was probably the dumbest thing they could do. maybe not to them. Maybe it is working, but just watching from afar, I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it.
Yep. Yeah. And then backstage,
not my favorite.
Yeah. No, backstage you saw a little interaction between Stephanie Valkyrie and Liv Morgan. So that might be the next stepping stone match which I think would be a pretty good one, Liv versus Stephanie. I think would be a pretty good match there. Of course, the division comes out. Paul Heyman, gives props to everybody. And then announces that July 5th, it'll be Punk versus Braun Breaker, which I think is going to be a heck of a match. Still don't know if they would switch. I mean, I think it would make sense for them to put the title on Braun. I mean, I would like it, but I don't know, Chris. What do you think? I mean, are they going to take the title away a couple months after they put it on Punk?
That is a good question. I think as we sit now, no. I think if Breaker goes on a hot streak of wins, maybe, and competes, and it, maybe he wins a intercontinental title or something. Before then, yeah, we saw him in NXT with the championship, and he did pretty good. And I think we saw him with one here in WWE on the main roster, and he did pretty good. Maybe one more mid card title, see how he does there.
Yeah.
But I think he's more than ready to take control of a championship and in the locker room, so to speak.
Yeah.
But you also got to think too. Who do you want to win Royal Rumble and face that champion?
Yeah, that's going to be a key. I mean, you're right there. I mean, so I don't think they'll put the IC title, US title on Breaker. I think it's going to be the big title if he gets another title run. And then of course, Logan Paul kind of teased his thoughts. Well, excuse me, his thoughts on going after the IC title with Ray, so that might start a little feud there. But and then the second match or the second semifinal match saw Gunther defeat Solo Sikoa with Tonga at ringside. Good match, good big guy match. I don't think anybody thought Solo was going to win. Gunther comes out on top. What did you think of the match?
Good match. I was hoping for Solo only because we kind of know what's on the horizon.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gunther needs to retire two Hall of Famers, or one former Hall of Famer, one current Hall of Famer. In his career, that's almost Randy Orton.
Well, and I think that's what our other co-host said last week was, I don't know if he said behind stage or on the podcast, but are they pushing Gunther to be the next legend killer? Per se,
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I think Solo would have been a better fit for the tournament to win. Being the young guy, Gunther's already had those title runs, longest Intercontinental champion, stuff like that. So that sets up next week, Gunther versus. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long week for me already.
No good.
So, just looking at that match alone, who do you got winning that, Chris?
Between Gunther and Knight?
Yeah.
I got Gunther. I wanted to be LA Knight.
I wanted to be LA Knight too, but I'll put it this way: if Gunther wins, then they are kind of pushing. They're going to push the legend killer status with Gunther. They'll call it something different, but it'll be they'll try to push him as I just retired this guy, retired that guy. Of course, Orton's coming up on retirement. I know AJ said next year's going to be his possible final. So, maybe there is something to possibly doing that. But I hope not. But I'd like to see LA Knight, but I have a feeling it's going to be Gunther. And then our final match, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Rhea and Io Sky. no contest due to the fact that Asuka hit the ring to attack, and then I believe Judgment Day came out, grabbed the title. So this is going to be a good feud between these four teams and possibly Lash Legend and Nia Jax. So overall, Chris, what did you think of the main event?
Not bad. I wish there was a winner, but you can't get them all.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a bad match. I think next week they said something about a turmoil match.
Yep.
Between all of the women tag teams, which I'm all for. Or no, not turmoil, a TLC match.
Okay.
We haven't had TLC matches in a while.
Yeah.
Or a TLC.
Yep.
But I'm glad they're not using those like they did in WWE years ago. Or like every match, not every match, but PLE.
Yep.
They're using it sparingly. But it should be fun. I'm excited for it.
No, you're definitely right there. So with that being said, just looking at some news here. Let's see here. Report Jacob Fatu's status.
I think he's almost cleared.
Yeah. This weekend it is reported that Jacob Fatu written off of programming due to dental procedure. Nothing that he wouldn't be cleared to compete until later in the year. But we're potential final week, so yeah, he's looks like he's coming up to a return.
But the thing is, I know it's dental, and depending on how he felt, he couldn't do it. But
yeah,
I feel like even with like dental surgery, and depending on how he felt, you could probably still do promos.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like his mic skills yet. So let's get to the big news of the weekend. Paul Heyman pushing the fan, teenage kid.
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard.
Yeah, so you'll have to find the clip. I'll try to find it for you. But they're walking through the crowd. He was heading up. Security was there, kind of holding people back. This kid, 15 maybe, kind of maneuvered his way around security. Got in front of Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman pushed him on the way. A lot of people are blaming Paul Heyman. Shouldn't have done that. Some people are blaming the kid. He should know better and not put his hands on professional talent. To me, I think it's on security. You didn't really block the kid from doing it. Yeah, Heyman shouldn't have, pushed the kid. Yeah, the kid, should know not to try to touch a wrestler. But I think the fault's on security. So, Chris, when you watch the video, if you find it, or I mean, what's your initial thoughts? I mean,
Well, first you got to think about it, and I know, maybe that this wasn't or it was. I don't know, but you're in WWE. Everything's a story.
Yep.
What if Paul Heyman saw the kid before the show? Wanted to do some interaction with it. And then
okay, I get what you're. I get what you're.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
And that's why security didn't do anything, because it was all pre-planned, because they talked about this interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just reading more into it. I don't know, but
yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying, and I didn't think of it that way. Sorry, guys.
As long as the kid wasn't like physically hurt, emotionally hurt, was having a good time with it, I
Yeah.
don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, I'll see here. Yeah, here's one of the clips. I'll send it to you. You can look at it quick. Let's see. No, I don't want to send it to that one. Let's get back here. But yeah, it was. I can see what you're saying. You know, is it? I sent it to our group chat. So
Yeah.
from YouTube.
That's
I
it.
don't think it was pre-set up. Could have been, possibly. Now that you said that, I mean, I can see why you could think that. And watching the video, I can see why, you know, where it could be a setup. But I mean, Heyman being the heel, you know, pushed him out of the way. You know, the security guard should have done a better job, I think. And we're not talking about it. So that's just my thoughts. I
I'm
think
sure
it's
it's going to be
unsecure.
brought up by somebody.
Yeah. So
And it didn't look like it was that bad of a show.
it wasn't a big push. It was more or less just kind of, you know,
Move out of my way.
pushed him away. You know.
Yeah. Move out of my way. You're blocking the space or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
and
he had no intentions of stopping. You know.
and the kid didn't look like you pushed me, you know,
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong. Now if the kid was like really frustrated,
Yeah.
okay.
I definitely. I mean, like I said, I think it's Nazi. If it's not the work as people say pre-planned, security did a bad job of keeping the fans away.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Now what happened with Rollins that one time when the fan
On
got
Raw.
on stage and pushed him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was. That
wasn't pre-planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can tell when stuff's playing. You can tell when stuff's not playing. Because the unwritten rule is you don't jump in the ring. You know, you're not part of the show. And the fans or the wrestlers take that serious. So you jump in there. I mean, you've seen it all over. You've seen back when Hogan turned heel, a fan got in the ring and got pounded on. You know, so yeah. If you're out of the event, don't jump in the ring. Don't jump the
Right.
barricade. You know, even
But
the
maybe
wrestlers take shots at you. You know, so.
But maybe Heyman also said, "Hey, I'm going to come your way. I'm going to shove you. You know,
Yeah,
push
I
out of
mean,
your way."
you are right, Chris. I mean, it could have been. It could have been. You know,
Because you are in WWE's world, they can do whatever they want to an extent.
Yep, you are right. It could have been. So, that being said, nothing else exciting.
One thing I do want to bring up, and I saw earlier, I guess Access or no, oh gosh, AMC, that's what it was.
Okay.
The TV network, I guess, showed a commercial, and it briefly showed a wrestling ring. Now, AMC has been tied to TNA.
Okay.
I think it's something coming in January.
Yeah, it could be. I have not seen that.
I haven't either. I saw it online, you know, like the report, but I haven't seen the actual commercial.
And that's and that's something TNA's always needed. They needed somebody to back them, and I think the partnership with WWE is a good stepping stone. There's been rumors of Vince Russo starting a company, Shane McMahon starting one. Hogan before his passing, there was rumor he was talking about starting one.
Yeah, him and Angle did a freestyle amateur, you know, like college wrestling kind of thing.
Yeah. There was talk, yeah, so who knows? We'll see.
I think CW would have perfectly, though.
Which one?
CW.
Yeah, CW would
mean-
be a good one for.
Well, you already have it with NXT,
Yep.
which
Yep.
you are partnered with. I just think
Yeah,
that
but again, if you're partners with WWE, you're not going to be able to bring in another promotion. So,
well, they're already working with in TNA.
oh yeah, that is yeah. So, but yeah, well, we'll have to keep a watch on that. But that being said, Chris, any final thoughts on this Monday night of wrestling?
No, but thanks everyone for tuning in and watching, and it's been fun. I enjoy it, and hopefully we can do it next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it next week. Hopefully, Kevin will be able to free up a little time. I know he said he was working, but with that being said, again, thoughts and prayers to Travis Sharp's family, fans, all the wrestling promotions that he worked with. Gonna be a big miss.
Yeah.
But with that being said, too, if you need any help mentally, reach out to somebody, and get your help. That way, everybody's here for everybody. If you don't want to talk to them, we used to bring it up on the late show we had with J-Mac and stuff. Reach out to one of us. We'll sit and talk to you. We'll help you through whatever you need to get that mind straight. So, with that being said, you'll see me, Chris, tomorrow, or not tomorrow. You'll see me and Chris on Wednesday for week 14 of Primetime Blitz. You'll see me and Tim, C2C Rankum, Thursday. I got some stuff I got to take care of on Wednesday. So, but Primetime Blitz, definitely check it out. And of course, coming up in the next few weeks, we'll do our Between the Rope awards. This is what, Chris, 5th year that we've done them?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have our match of the year, promo of the year, female, male superstar, heel, all that fun stuff. And who knows, maybe we'll come up with some kind of new category with that. But that's probably going to be one of the last 2 weeks in December when nothing's going on, because wrestling will probably be on pre-recorded that time. So that being said, with that being said, we'll see y'all next week on Between the Ropes. Have a good night.
Have a good week, everybody.